Okay, good morning class. So today we'll start with some revisions, okay, because your syllabus is almost done. It's done. So from today onwards, we'll start revising the topics, okay, and discuss some questions so that it can be easier for you, okay. So if you can answer, it's well and good, and if you can't answer, then you can go back and just read, okay. So you don't need to be scared, your finals are also approaching. So in this way, if we discuss one topic daily, so that way your concepts will also get clear, right? So but let me know if you people have any doubt. Any doubts in any topic? Anyone? Okay, do one thing, you go back and when you find out some doubts, just let me know in the group, okay, so that next day we can discuss about those. Okay, I'm saying this to everyone. So let's discuss about the preventions, okay, the level of preventions. So how many levels of preventions are there? Yes, any one of you can answer. How many levels of preventions are there? At first, everyone please switch on your videos. Yes, everyone please switch on your videos. Yes, the rest kindly switch on your videos. Okay, see, can you tell me how many levels of preventions are there? So you don't need to be scared even if it's wrong. It's okay. Only then you will know where you are lagging behind, right? Then only you can go back and study about that topic. So, yes, tell me how many levels of prevention are there? We have discussed this. Yes, primary, secondary, and tertiary. Good. Okay, so Dristelina, she answered. Okay, so after that, apart from her, someone else answer me. What is primary prevention? Yes, anyone else? What is primary prevention? See, I don't need the bookish definition. I just want to know what do you understand by primary prevention. Yes, anyone? What is primary prevention?
Madam, it is a prevention that we take before the health effect occurs.
Before the
Health effect occurs.
before the you mean to say the disease occurs, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, you're correct. Good. So next, tell me what is secondary prevention. Okay, not you two. Someone else tell me what is secondary prevention. It's okay, even if you are wrong, it's okay. You don't need to be scared, okay? We'll discuss. That's why I'm asking that if you know it properly. If not, then we'll revise the topic. That's why I'm asking. Anyone else? Tell me what is secondary prevention.
Ma'am, early treatment getting worse.
Yes, early treatment to prevent it from getting worse. Okay, that means in the acute stage of the disease. That is the secondary prevention. Now, someone else. Okay, you said it correctly. So, apart from these three, the rest, someone say me what is tertiary prevention?
Ma'am, tertiary prevention is
Yeah, say. It's okay, say.
already affected by it.
Yes, already affected by a disease, but then to prevent it from going into a chronic stage, okay, or to prevent it from developing the disabilities. Okay, I'll give you an example. What is primary prevention, secondary, and tertiary? Okay, let's take the example of the disease diabetes. Okay, so there are some, you all know that there are some risk factors for development of diabetes, right? That is maybe your food, maybe your lifestyle, the sedentary lifestyle that one lives with, okay, and their diet and the body weight. So these are some risk factors for developing diabetes. Now, when you maintain a good body weight, okay, and you adapt the healthy nutritional habits and you start doing the physical exercises, you remain active in these measures that you take to prevent the onset of diabetes, then this you is called as your primary prevention. Okay, that is you are taking care of the risk factors. The risk factors are all checked and they are supposed to be at the normal level. That should be your aim during the primary prevention. Next, when we come into the secondary prevention, so secondary prevention is when diabetes is already detected. Okay, diabetes is just an example that I am giving, that diabetes now is already detected and it must be now treated. Okay, the aims of this treatment, that is the secondary treatment. Now, what will be the aims of secondary treatment in case of diabetes? So, it will be to maintain the blood glucose level and to maintain the ideal body weight. That will be your aims in your secondary prevention. Now, how will you maintain the blood glucose level and to maintain the ideal body weight? That is maybe through diet alone. Sometimes in some people, if the blood glucose level is lower, okay, just a bit higher than the normal level, then the diet alone will keep everything balanced. But then if it is a bit higher, then what you need to do, diet along with it anti-diabetic medications, for example your insulin. So the diet and the insulin, all these you will take in the secondary prevention. Now the thing is, in the primary prevention you cannot take insulin, right? To maintain the normal blood glucose level you cannot take insulin because you already have a normal blood sugar, and just to prevent it from going into a higher level, all you are doing is maintaining the diet and the normal body weight, but you will not take insulin at the primary prevention, because if you do that your blood glucose level will fall below normal. Okay, so in the secondary treatment you will start maintaining a healthy body weight. Along with it, the normal blood glucose level, maybe through diet alone or through diet and anti-diabetic drugs such as insulin. And when you take these measures in the secondary prevention, then your blood glucose level, it comes under control, and this prevents it from developing the further complications of diabetes. Now, why this secondary prevention is required? To prevent the complications. Okay, because of that it is required. And then along with it, there should be routine checking of blood sugar, okay, weight, BP, and also of the vision. Now, why vision? Because there is a particular disease which is you call as diabetic related retinopathy. Okay, retinopathy means something related to your retina of the eye. Okay, and diabetes may also lead to blindness, that is diabetic related blindness, okay, that condition. So to prevent these complications, okay, what we are doing is we are taking the secondary preventions so that these complications doesn't occur. So along with checking your blood sugar level and your weight and all these things, you should also check for your vision as well, because vision is mostly affected when a person is having higher level of blood glucose. And also the feet should also be examined, okay, because diabetes is also known as a silent killer, okay, or the silent poison. So apparently what happens is that it starts damaging all your tissues, and it usually starts from the feet. You will get the symptoms in your feet, so your feet should also be examined for any defective blood circulation, okay, and also for loss of sensation and the health of the skin in the feet. So all these things you will undertake in the secondary prevention, okay. That means you are maintaining the normal body weight, along with it you are taking some medications, and you are also checking for the complications so that they do not develop. So these comes under your secondary prevention. Then now when we go into a tertiary prevention, now diabetes is a major cause of disability because of its complications. There may be several complications, for example blindness, okay, thrombosis, kidney failure. So these are several complications of diabetes. Now the disease has already gone into your chronic state, okay. So the main objective at the tertiary level is to organize specialized clinics and units which are capable of providing diagnostic and management skills, okay. Now why diagnostic and management? You need both, because without a proper diagnosis, proper management is not possible. So you need both to maintain these complications, and so that we can prevent the further development of these, okay. So it is to prevent the chronic disability after a disease, in simple word, okay. So this was all about the primary, secondary and tertiary preventions. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now next, if it's clear, it's okay. If it's not, go back and study. Now you will know that okay, I know about this topic or I don't know, because we have already discussed about this. If not, go back and study. If you have any doubts, you can ask me, okay, or in any topic, okay, not only this, in any topic. If you have any doubt, just let me know in the group a day prior, okay, so that I can find a easier way of explaining it to you. So we'll discuss it the next day. Next we will go into the dimensions of health, okay. Now tell me, how many dimensions of health are there? Anyone knows about it? Anyone remembers that? There were certain dimensions of health. So how many dimensions of health were there?
There were 6 dimensions of health.
Yes, you're correct. You remember those? The names?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
There were physical dimension, mental dimension, social dimension. emotional dimension, spiritual dimension, and vocational dimension.
Yes, correct. Good. Now, anyone else apart from her, tell me what is physical dimension? Yes, anyone else tell me what is physical dimension? It's okay, I don't need the definition. The way I gave it, I don't need it. I just want to know, if I say physical dimension of health, so what do you understand by it? If I say that there is a physical dimension to health, so what do you understand by that?
And physical capacity to perform tasks and physical fitness.
Yes, correct. Good. Okay, you're correct. Okay. So next is your mental dimension. So somebody else tell me what is mental dimension? What do you understand by mental dimension to health? I just want you all to understand, okay, if physical dimension means the physical fitness and the physical health, okay, and the physical capacity to do a task, so what does mental dimension means?
The mental dimension is a mentally healthy person.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So mental dimension is about a mentally healthy person. That means also, and I want to mention it here that if I say a mentally healthy person, then he needs to be healthy in the sense that that person needs to be happy, okay, that person needs to be satisfied with himself and also with his surroundings. Just the lack of mental illnesses doesn't mean that the person is mentally healthy, okay. Similarly, in case of physical dimension also, just the lack of any disease doesn't mean that the person is physically fit or physically healthy, okay. And in mental dimension also, just the lack of mental diseases, for example dementia, Alzheimer's, okay. So in the absence of this disease, merely the absence doesn't mean that the person is mentally healthy. The person, maybe the person is not having any kind of mental illness, but still he is not happy with himself, still the person is not satisfied, then that person cannot be called as a mentally healthy person, okay. There is this difference. Now, someone else tell me what is social dimension. Yes, anyone else? Tell me, what do you understand if I say social dimension of health?
Ma'am, able to make and maintain relationship with others.
Okay, correct. Yeah, she's correct. Okay, good. That means social relationships with others, with other people in your society. So, if we sum up in one word, it means social well being and harmony. Okay, that is your social dimension. Now, next is your spiritual dimension. So, what do you understand by spiritual dimension?
Ma'am, it involves exploring beliefs and values that give meaning and purpose to our life.
Yes, correct, good. So, meanings and values that give purpose in your life. So, here I'll ask a question, okay? I'll give certain options. So, tell me what do you think is the correct option, okay? So, what does spiritual dimension of health include, okay? Um, Number one is your principles, number two is your ethics, number three is the purpose of life, and number four is all of the above. So, which one is the correct answer?
Ma'am, all of the above.
Yes, anyone else? Tell me. She said it's all of the above. So, anyone else want to rectify this, or you think it's she's correct or she's wrong? Yes, tell me. I'll repeat the options for spiritual dimension. What do you think is the correct option? Okay, principles, ethics, purpose of life, all of the above. So she said it's all of the above. Anyone else tell me if you think she's correct or she's wrong? And if she's wrong, then tell me the correct answer. Yes, tell me. Okay, she was correct. The answer is all of the above. Okay, so it includes your purpose of life, your principles, and also your ethics. That is the spiritual dimension. So we have 6 dimensions of health. One is the physical dimension, that means a physically fit person, his ability to do a physical task. All this comes under your physical dimension of health. Next is your mental dimension. Mental dimension means a state of happiness, a state of self-satisfaction, and a mentally healthy person is also happy with himself, with his family, and also with the other people around him. So this comes under your mental dimension. Next is your social dimension. So this means, in one word, if you say it, is social well-being and harmony, okay, with the other people in your surrounding. Spiritual dimension, it includes all the principles, the ethics, and the purpose of your life. All this comes under your spiritual dimension. Emotional dimension of health is the emotions, okay, maybe happy, sad, anger, anxiety, whatever. So all this comes under your emotional dimension. And last is your vocational dimension, that is about your work, okay. So a person, he needs to be satisfied with his work. If he is not satisfied maybe with his co-workers, maybe he is having some arguments or some fight with his co-workers, or maybe there is jealousy prevailing in the work environment, or maybe because he is not paid well, okay, so all, then that person will not be happy, right? So, or that can also be considered as vocationally unhealthy person. So vocational dimension is also an important part, okay. So that comes under your vocational dimension. Clear? Clear everyone? Is it clear, the 6 dimensions of health? Okay. So tomorrow we'll wind up the class today. Tomorrow we will go for some other topics, okay. Or if you want me to discuss a particular topic, so kindly let me know it today, okay. By tonight you let me know what topic you want me to discuss, or if you have any doubts, you can ask me maybe in the group, or you can inbox me as well, so I'll be there to clear your doubts, okay. So it's better to ask questions now, right, than to be confused at the exams. It is better to ask questions now. So find out what topics are not clear to you. Whichever it is, we'll discuss it tomorrow. So let me know it by tonight, okay. Or if not, then we'll discuss another topic of my choice, and we'll be asking questions like this. But it's better that if you pick up a topic by yourself, okay. So we'll wind up the class now. CR, you can send me the attendance.